Hi everyone, it's Dr. Manjiri Nadkarni. I'm trying to go live on Facebook as well as Instagram, and I'm not sure what's happened or what's changed here. Okay, live. Okay, I think I figured it out. Okay, so just gonna have this right here and just bear with me for 1 minute. I think I'm trying to go live via Facebook as well as Instagram, and that's been giving me some challenges today. So, okay. Perfect. So I am live now on Facebook as well as Instagram. Today we are going to talk about one of the most important topics that we can talk about, and that is healthy aging. This entire month I have dedicated to senior health, and we are going to cover different aspects of senior health. We're going to talk about diet and nutrition. We're going to talk about healthy bones as well as healthy joints, and we are also going to talk about building the muscle mass, right? So, for today's video, I'm going to talk about optimal diet as well as nutrition for senior. And the number one question that I often get from, my clients is whether I should eat the same. Should I be eating the same? And I think that's where most people make a huge mistake, and that is where Ayurveda is very specific. That as your life stages change, as your body's requirement change, as your body changes, your diet should change. You should not be eating the same food throughout your life. You should not be eating exactly the same through all the seasons. You should not be eating the same. And this is where, like, with you fall into the nutritional trap of finding a certain macronutrient ratio for you. So you might think that, hey, I'm doing 40% carbs, and I'm doing 30% protein, and I'm doing 30% fat. But that 30% of carbs, protein, fat also will change in terms of the percentage, but also the quality or the actual foods that you're eating, and these have to change when we talk about different life stages. So a small child who is in the growth phase of life is going to have a completely different diet. When we are looking at our middle ages or adulthood, we have a completely different diet. And as our body ages, the diet is going to be very different, right? And for one of the biggest things to understand from an Ayurvedic perspective is there are that our life stages are also governed by certain bioenergies, or vata, pitta, and kapha dosh. So initially, when you are a child, the growth is the most characteristic of childhood. So that's governed by the kapha phase, where you are going to need a lot of nourishing foods to nourish your body. The middle age is all about maintenance, right? And it's also the very pitta phase of your life. And as we start aging, this vata dosh starts taking over our body, and that is why a lot of bodily changes occur, which I have also described in my video last week, right? So I have talked about how your body is going to change. Your digestive system is going to weaken as you age. Your secretions of the body, including your digestive enzymes, are going to dry up, right? Your digestive enzymes are not going to be as stronger, and that is one of the reasons why, as we age, seniors often complain about constipation or bloating or gas, because your digestive system has now changed. It is not the same it was 20 years ago. The same foods that you could happily eat and digest 20 years ago are not getting digested that easily, right? So this is one of the reasons why your diet has to change as you age. So digestive system will change, the secretions will not be as strong. There will be bloating, there will be constipation, there could be diarrhea, there could be food sensitivities. That is one thing that I'm seeing in my clients. Even clients the age of 70 who have been healthy all their life suddenly are turning intolerant to either lactose or any of the milk proteins, or suddenly they find that they get stomach cramps with wheat or breads that they were eating all their life, right? So there are several factors that will contribute to these changes, food sensitivities, like your stress levels, your immune system, what's going on in your body. But this is one factor you have to pay attention to, whether you're reacting to it or not, right? And there are three of the main core principles of, senior nutrition in my perspective. The number one thing is going to be digestibility. So, no matter what you eat, right, make sure you're eating foods that are digestible to you. So if you are eating something that you're not being able to digest well, if you're eating cold foods, if you're eating smoothies, if you're having meal replacements, you have to ensure that you're digesting those, right? Smoothies often, and I've said this again and again, they're cold, they're clammy, they're really hard to digest. Adding avocados with almond milks or coconut milks and pumpkin purees and different fruits, they're full of bad combination, and they're also cold, which are not going to get digested well, right? And this coldness in your body is going to create, the lack of digestion. This is going to create digestive toxins, which we call ama in Ayurveda, which can circulate throughout your body, and you will experience stiffness, you might experience more joint pain, you might experience more heaviness, you might experience sluggishness. So these are signs that you're struggling with what we call ama if you're having a poor diet, especially like a lot of cold smoothies. So that is the number one thing to avoid. Always have warm food, always have a little more liquidy foods, in the sense, make sure your water intake is good, but also you can have a little bit more soups, something that has a higher water content, which will also help with the dehydration that occurs because of the vata dosh, right? So vata typically is the bioenergy that is very drying to the body, and as we age we are losing hydration, not just from your skin, but your cellular hydration is going to get a little bit lowered as well. That is one of the reasons why you require ample amounts of good quality water, alkaline water, and also make sure that you're having more broths or more broth based soups, more liquid foods. You can make soups, you can have um, something like coconut water might be fantastic source of potassium if you're somebody who has, low potassium levels. So making sure that adding enough hydration through food is also extremely important, because your entire body, including the cells, have a tendency to get dehydrated, right? So number one thing I talked about was digestibility. Number two thing I talked about was hydration. The third thing is going to be spices, right? So adding certain spices in your diet that are anti-inflammatory will help tremendously digest the food and pick up the vital nutrients from the food, right? So an example is turmeric is one of the fantastic spice, which is also amazing for joint health. It prevents joint pain, it has been studied to prevent dementia, it has been studied in Alzheimer's. So adding turmeric powder to your food. You can have it in the form of turmeric milk by adding it to almond milk or non dairy milk or whole organic milk if you're okay with milk. You could also start using ginger or ginger powder in your diet. You can use different spices like rosemary or thyme or any kind of spices that you prefer. You can definitely start adding to your diet, because the spices are going to break down your food and help you extract the nutrients from the food, right? So warm foods, plenty of water, and foods that have a good hydration capacity. And the third is going to be warm spices that will aid with digestion. So these are three of the main ones, and this will make sure that your digestion stays really strong. Fourth thing is to add good quality fiber, right? So from my perspective, again, wheat bran is not a good quality fiber. If you're having bran muffins, or if you're having bran buds, it's not the best quality fiber that you're getting. You can get good amounts of good quality fiber either through having foods that are high in fiber, like leafy green vegetables, These leafy green vegetables also have ample amounts of magnesium that are going to keep your joints healthy and your muscles healthy, because magnesium helps relaxation of the muscles. Magnesium helps relaxation of the arteries as well, and it is highly available in leafy green vegetables. These green vegetables, having those cooked is better for digestion, and it will make sure you're not constipated or you're not bloated, right? So this is the fourth thing that you need to do, is make sure you're having good quality fiber, enough amounts of good quality fiber. And the fifth one is eating less, not too much, right? So always eat one third, two-third capacity of your stomach and never completely full, because if you are having too much food, there is no space available for the enzymes to take place and the mixture to take place in your belly, right? If you completely fill your belly up with food till here, there is no space for the enzymes to do their action or the food to mix well, because food will undergo mechanical digestion in your stomach through the churning, and at the time it will also mix with the enzymes, right? Now, because we have aged, because you're a senior, you're already not having enough enzymes. And if you have too much food, it's like cooking, 10 kgs of rice with like maybe a spoon of salt, right? So you're going to need that much quantity of enzymes depending on how much quantity of food you're intaking, right? And as your digestive capacity decreases, make sure you can have frequent meals, but make sure you're digesting the food. You can have one or two snacks as per your digestive capacity, that is completely okay, right? But make sure you're not having huge amounts of food at one single setting. So that's extremely important. I'm going to say a quick hi here. I have a few people on my Instagram. There's Gopi, there's Indrani, there's Ganesh Ayurveda, there's Janeka, there's Anuja Chaudekar. So if you are watching this live on Facebook, I can see a few people are here. Just say a quick hi. If you have any questions for me, either during the live or after the live, you can post your questions here, and feel free to tag me into your questions, because sometimes I miss those questions, right? So that's the one thing. The second point I'm going to discuss is how to build your muscle mass in your 70s or 80s. Now, we are going to talk about healthy muscle mass in the last video of the month. I'm going to talk about building muscle mass, building your strength. But the fact is that as we age, we end up losing as much as 3 to 8% of muscle mass every decade of the life after the age of 30, right? And men usually lose up to 30% of the muscle mass throughout their lifetimes. So one thing you need to focus on is you need to focus on rebuilding your muscle mass, even if you're 70 or 80. And I have a lot of my clients that I work with. I work a lot with seniors, and the one thing I have been able to help them is to build muscle mass no matter what age they are, right? So if you go onto my Facebook page, or if you go onto my website, you can actually see testimonials of people who've built 8 to 10 pounds of muscle in their 70s while losing the body fat. So, how do you build the muscle mass in your 70s and 80s? Number one thing to do is, first you have to take a test to see where your muscle mass is. Often you want to lose weight, or you want to gain muscles, or you want to be optimally hydrated, but you have no idea where to start, because you have no idea what your body composition is like. So, number one thing you need to do is understand your body composition, and that's the one test every person should take as you age, is take a body composition test, right? Body composition test will categorize what is the composition of your body, how much percentage, how much poundage is your muscle mass, how much percent of your body is fat, and how much water are you having in your body which is hydrated, and how much water you're having in the body which is retained water. So this is an extremely important test to take, body composition. Once you understand your muscle mass, I can pinpoint whether your muscle mass is way lower for your age and your activity level, right? And from that, we support you with good amounts of digestible and high quality protein. And I do not mean any protein shakes of, the shelf or having more energy bars or something. Protein, you can source it naturally through your food. Beans, lentils, easily digestible, certain meats, poultry, whatever is digestible to you, we can make it more digestible by optimizing it and pairing it with certain spices or certain ways of cooking that you're going to pick it up even better, right? So that is how we build the muscle mass. And one crucial factor for building your muscle mass is also focusing on the health of your liver, right? Your liver is your metabolic machinery, and it is responsible for, different kind of hundreds and thousands of chemical activities in the body. So whether we are looking at building the protein or in the body or the muscle mass in the body, whether we are looking at fat loss, your liver plays an extremely important role. From an Ayurvedic perspective, we say that it does digestion of the five elements or the Panchabhautik Agnis. It has the five elemental fires, which it will help with biotransformation of the five elements that you eat from your food. And that is why focusing on the liver health is another aspect to building your muscle. Now we go to the fourth point. I'm trying to cram up a lot of points in this Wednesday lives because I'm sticking to these lives and I'm not, doing lot other talks on my page this time. So the three vitamins that you should start taking for your health as we age, the number one vitamin you need to start taking as you age is vitamin D, right? Vitamin D is extremely important because in Canada, especially, everybody's deficient. Even in India, everybody's deficient in today's world because we do not have enough exposure to the sun, right? And if you are out and about in the afternoon, if you're out and about when you're fully covered, if you're out and about and you have, a lot of sunscreens on your skin, you're not absorbing the vitamin D. Most people that I know, most of my clients are deficient in vitamin D, and that is one of the reasons why you need to supplement with vitamin D. The vitamin D can come as pills or sprays or drops, and you can easily get it at Blue Water Nutrition. So feel free to visit our store, and you can always get, your supplements, minerals at the store. But no matter where you live, a vitamin D is easily accessible through any health food stores. And adding vitamin D as a supplement regimen is extremely important for your mental health as well as your bone health, right? So that's the number one supplement you should be adding. Number one vitamin you should be adding, that's the vitamin D. The second one is vitamin B12. As we age, as our digestion weakens, we don't make enough of vitamin B12 because the bacteria in our gut are not as strong because of a poor digestion. Vitamin B12 helps with energy. It's going to prevent tingling and numbness. It's going to support your nerves as well. That is why it is the second vitamin that you should be adding to your supplement regimen when you start aging, right? And rather than just B12, one of my favorites is a B complex, which is the combination of all B vitamins. B vitamins are very important for cognitive function. So, when we look at your brain function, when we look at your focus, when we look at your memory, B vitamins play a huge role. And that is my favorite second vitamin to add to your daily regimen, B complex or at least a B12. The third one is vitamin C, right? So, vitamin C is another important vitamin in today's world, especially because cancer is an extremely common disease today. Vitamin C has is an antioxidant. It has anti-cancer properties. And from an Ayurvedic perspective, if you look at a lot of the Rasayana herbs, if you look at herbs like Avla or Amla berry, it has ample amounts of vitamin C, which will protect your cells from dying earlier. It will protect your cells from aging, and it will also give you good protection if you have a history of cancer. So the three vitamins that you should be taking as you age are vitamin D, vitamin B12 or B complex, and then vitamin C. So these are the three things. The three minerals that you need to add to your diet. Now, this is going to be very interesting because I'm sure a lot of you already take calcium supplements to prevent joint, related issues or bone issues, especially osteoporosis, right? But taking calcium may just not be enough because there are other factors required to keep the calcium soluble, which is magnesium. So, magnesium is again an extremely, extremely important factor as we age. Magnesium is an anti stress mineral, it relaxes your body, it's going to relax your muscles, it's going to relax your arteries as well. It's also going to help you with constipation if you're somebody who has a tendency for constipation, right? Magnesium comes in different forms. Magnesium citrate will help with digestive issues or bowel issues, especially constipation. Magnesium bisglycinate can help lower your blood pressure slightly and keep your arteries a bit relaxed. And then there are certain forms of magnesium, like magnesium threonate, that help with a lot of magnesium inside your nervous system. So, depending on what your requirements are, it is always good to supplement with magnesium, which is the second mineral besides calcium. And the third one that you should be supplementing is iodine or iodine, right? So, one thing that I have seen as a pattern in my clients is as you start aging, your thyroid does not function as well, which is going to lead to more issues in the body. You will be colder, you will start gaining weight, you will start feeling mentally frustrated, lack of concentration, hair fall, So, a lot of these signs can happen because you have a low functioning thyroid, and iodine is one of the fantastic supplements to add to your regimen, especially if your thyroid function is not optimal. So, these are the three minerals that you can supplement in your diet if you are a senior, right? So, I'm going to say a quick hi to Jayant has joined me on Instagram. There's Mamta as well, and there is Dr. Rakesh Singh. There's Tripti as well, and Shri Sunrise. So if you are watching this live and if you have any questions, do let me know. I can see some people on Facebook as well. So if you're watching this either on YouTube, if you're watching this on Facebook, and if you have any questions, we are talking about seniors' health today. We are talking about optimal diet and nutrition and also supplementation for seniors, right? So if you have question, please feel free to post it in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to answer. Um, so I'm just waiting for your questions. Okay, I'm just gonna say a quick hi to BMS Ayurgyan. Okay, so I don't see many questions, so that's fine too. I am hosting an autumn Ayurveda reset, right? So if you are somebody who needs to detox, support your detoxification channels in the body, who wants to reset their body as well as mind, if you're tired of feeling sluggish and just exhausted, I would love for you to join me for the reset that I'm hosting on the 6th 18th. We have a master class where we will start with the master class tomorrow, which is going to be really amazing. I'll be walking people through with the reset. This time the reset is going to be very different from my previous reset as well. We are going to go step by step. You will have delicious food. You're going to make sure that you're not starving. We will make sure that you're resetting your body as well as your mind. So it's not just like a khichdi detox or a starvation diet or a juice cleanse. You're going to eat foods that are seasonal. You're going to eat foods that are compatible with your body. We are going to make sure we're kickstarting our digestion, and then we really focus on balancing this vata dosh as we get more into the fall season. I am also going to focus on three main channels of detoxification. We're going to focus on lungs, we're going to focus on liver as well as the large intestine. So it's going to be really exciting. I'm super excited. I have about 25 people already signed up. I have spaces for a few more. So if you are interested in joining the cleanse or the autumn reset, I would love for you to join me. You can find the link to join on my Instagram in the bio, or you can also find it on my Facebook page, and I've posted the links here in the comment section as well. If you find if you have questions about the reset, feel free to get in touch with me. If you have any questions about today, feel free to post them in the comment section. And if you know of any seniors, probably your grandparents or your parents who are aging, or your friends or your neighbors who will find this information useful, please feel free to tag them either in the comment section, or you can also privately share this video with them, so it can benefit them and they can make certain changes to their diet as well as lifestyle, so they will stay healthy and strong. So that's the goal. Thank you once again. I will be back next week on Wednesday for the next session on Wellness Wednesday. Next week, our topic is going to be maintaining healthy bones and joints. And we are going to focus all about your bone health as well as joint health. And we're going to talk about supplementation as well. So, thank you once again for watching this live. I will see you all soon. Thanks once again. Bye for now.